Hey, what is up, my fellow golf ball addicts? Welcome back to the channel. We're reviewing another seed model, which today is going to be the SD-15, also known as the Country Mile. Let's dive right in. Guys, as always, if you love this content, please like, subscribe, comment. We have a membership that starts at $1 a month to help the channel out, but subscribing, liking, commenting is always free, and it really does help the channel out quite a bit. Also, watching the video in its entirety, the more you watch, the more YouTube recommends my channel, to other people. I appreciate you as always. So Seed is a company that slowly is impressing me more and more. If you haven't seen a review from them, they're essentially an overseas company, but they are a direct-to-consumer golf ball manufacturer. They really value the importance of making sure that their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed. And what I mean by that is, while other companies, like a lot of these Amazon balls we're finding, just kind of reach out to a distributor or a factory and say, hey, this is kind of what I want, and then they just put it on there. They don't really do any testing or care about, the overall product. Seed actually really puts a lot of thought, detail, and, really goes that extra country mile, if you know what I mean. Boo, boo. In order to make their golf balls really good. And I've really been impressed with them. I've tried the SD-01, I've tried the SD-05. They have a bunch of different models, but so far I've been impressed with how they feel, how they come off the club, and the overall performance. So really excited about that. This is their two-piece offering. So this is going to be more of their intermediate beginner ball, long distance, straight, and what's really cool is it comes in a variety of colors. It comes in red, it comes in yellow, it comes in green. It also comes in what's called the jack, which is their kind of alignment aid tool, which is, the picture here, essentially you can line it up and it has that. It's kind of like a difference between a TP5 and a Callaway that they do it, but it's their version. Really cool variety of, I think it's 5 or 6 different ways you can buy the golf ball, which is really awesome. The other cool thing is the price point. So this one's going to come in at $20 a dozen, which if you buy up to 5 dozen, you can get them for $15 a dozen. So really competitive. A lot of the Walmart balls we see are around $12 to $15 a dozen, but getting one from a really well-known manufacturer that I trust, that I know goes through that process and has a lot of attention to detail, that's a really good value. It's going to put its value score really high. What I am testing today is the red matte version. As I said, they have a lot of different varieties, but I got a hold of the red matte. A viewer was nice enough to send this to me. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. You guys sending me golf balls really helps the channel out a ton. I'm so blessed. Thank you. As you can see from the design here, Seed has a very interesting logo, and it's actually become one that I really, really like, because the more I see it, the more I get excited, because like I said, I'm becoming a big Seed fan. The font is plain, but hey, so what? The number's there, but they have that cool logo. I can tell a Seed golf ball apart. They do stand out a little bit, which is all I require. Looking on the side here at the alignment tool, now this is something that kind of bothers me a little bit, but Seed's alignment tool is good as far as being a nice black line that you can see, but it's not thick enough. I just wish it was a little thicker and a little longer, because as you can see, if I hold this up to the camera, it's tough to see from there, whereas some of the ones I really, really like are thick and bold, and where when I hold them up, it's like a beacon from space. You're like, oh, yep, that's the alignment tool. So I wish it was a little bigger, but it's not bad. It gets a passing grade. Otherwise, it looks very cheap. It looks very plasticky. Being a two-piece, this is going to be a DuPont Surlyn, which I actually really love, because DuPont Surlyn golf balls have never got below an 8.5 on my durability score. Like, they are very, very durable. And so seeing that there, you may think $20 a dozen is a little higher on the price point when you compare it to like the Wilson Boost, but when you realize they're using DuPont Surlyn, that's worth the money. I promise you that is worth the money for sure. So I love to see that. Even though it kind of has this plasticky matte look, I'm not worried about it. So without further ado, let's get out to the chipping and putting green. Let's see how it does around there. Little heavy off the wedge. I didn't hit it exactly pure, but it was not bad. It definitely had some... Definitely a click there. You can hear it. It's a firm press. Not bad. It does come off the club very springy. It has a little bit of bouncy ball effect, but not a ton. Not like shooting off like a rocket or anything like that, but it has a little bit more than the average, I would say. It seems to be very consistent. Let's see. I'm going to try to open the face here and get some spin. There was a little check up there. That's not bad at all. So I would say 25, 30% on the bar for a two-piece, not bad. I had to really hit that one pure to get it to do that. So let's run it back and let's validate the parking. Okay, let's try to get this one to go left, as always. You know, it kind of acted like it wanted to, but it just doesn't have enough spin. I mean, it really had rotation like it was trying to, so still not bad. It's a two-piece, and I don't expect a lot. Let's try to get these in the hole now. Just nice, simple. Not enough. Okay, I need a little more on it, but the accuracy wasn't too bad. Oh, can't blame a guy for trying. Wasn't bad. Got really close. Yeah, like I said, feel is it doesn't blow me away, but it's a good feeling golf ball. It feels very forgiving. It feels very consistent. It does have a little tiny bit of checkup though, which being for a matte two-piece, I don't see that a lot. So actually I was surprised it had the amount it did, but not bad. Let's see how the putter is. All right, so first starting off with the Country Mile, we have the mallet putter, of course, really thick, really deadening. You know, two-piece golf balls, I usually expect them to not have much feel. I mean, most of the time they have a little bit of bouncy ball effect too. So let's see what we're working with. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it feels like. I mean, very, very soft, very, deadening, no feedback in the hands. Had a really good roll though. I didn't see any chug effect, which is really good for a two-piece golf ball. Really good there, just can't seem to hit the hole lately. All right, so now we have the much skinnier blade putter. I should get a little more feedback with this one, but let's see what we're working with. Oh, you can definitely hear the click there. Holy cow, much different. Okay, much, much, much different. Not bad. I mean, again, the roll is just so true. Regardless of either putter, the roll has been really, really good. Seems to just have a consistent launch every single time, which ain't me. Trust me, I'm not that good of a putter. But this one has like a slight crispness to it, which is like pretty common with the blade putter because it is louder. It's not, as deadening. It's not as heavy. It feels great for a two-piece golf ball. It just really is different. It feels like these other ones I've been testing. Look at that. I mean, just crispy. Yeah, that's great. I mean, seed always does really good around the green, but with a two-piece golf ball, I usually just have a certain set of expectations. But, usually the sacrifice for a two-piece golf ball is around the green. You do get some chug effects sometimes, like the Callaway Super Soft, or you do sometimes get maybe a little too much off the club, where it just springs so hard that now you got to like try to figure out your swing again. This one's just really consistent, really deadening, very minimal feedback. I like a little more feedback in the hands, but I would have zero problem using that. That's really nice. So I hope the performance numbers are up to par as well, pun intended. All right, so feel across all golf clubs. This is easily a 4 out of 5. It's really good and healthy. It doesn't feel perfect by any means because this golf ball isn't really soft and squishy like the Precept Laddie or the Wilson Zip or even the Wilson Soft Duo. It's not quite like that. It's more of a medium balance, kind of like the Cut Red was, which I like because what that means is that a lot of you golfers who feel you're good enough or feel you swing fast enough to where you're like, hey, I think I can try a three-piece, but you're really like a 15 to 20 handicap. This is the type of ball I would recommend to you because it has really responsive feedback. You can actually tell you what you're doing on miss hits, and it actually has some explosiveness off of it, but it's not just this consistent golf ball where you might lose a few yards, but you're going to be consistent because of the forgiveness. So has a great feel to it. I would say 4 out of 5 on your pure hits, 3 out of 5 on miss hits. It still does a great job of kind of giving you feedback. And then forgiveness overall is a 3 out of 5. I wish it had been a little better than that because with two-piece golf balls, that's why I recommend them so much. But because it has such high risk reward and because it's more medium balanced or medium on its feeling, opposed to being really soft and squishy, that's going to happen. So it is what it is. But overall, I really like it. It was kind of cool to get back to a two-piece golf ball again because I've been testing so many like tour golf balls lately, and man, some of them are just so firm, it's just not fun. I love how these two-piece golf ball feel a lot of the time, so love to see that. Let's get into the numbers now. Let's start with the 50-yard pitch. We're looking at 7,558, which is well above my average. That's actually 300 RPM above my average, which again, matte golf balls have a tendency to stick the green a little bit better, I've noticed. The urethane-coated ones that have a lot of polyurethane can stick it better on chips, but matte has zero issue once you get the ball up in the air and you get it rotating. So on a 50-yard pitch, this is really going to stick a green really well. It's going to actually probably come back at you a little bit, which again, a lot of you on the channel are like, oh, I got to have a three-piece, I got to have that spin. I just tested an Odin X, which was a three-piece. I got 2,000 less RPM. It's not always about the layers. You got to remember that. Every golf ball is different. With the technology we have now, two-piece golf balls are spinning. With the Speed Soft this year, the TaylorMade Speed Soft, I got almost 8,000. So some of them are spinning pretty good now, so just keep that in mind. Let's get to the 9-iron now. 1.31 on your smash factor. That's really, really good. 142.2, that's above average. 142.6, that's above average. Great. 107.5 is just slightly above average. I love to see it. 6,611, that's right in line with my average. So even though now it's not spinning a ton, it's still spinning a healthy amount, especially for a two-piece. It's definitely more than I've gotten with some other three-piece and four-piece golf balls, and it wants to launch, let's see, just slightly high, 23.7. My average is 22.7, so it is slightly high, which is exactly what I would expect out of a two-piece golf ball. I don't want a super high launch, but I want just slightly higher than normal. You know what I mean? And the fact that it has that spin with it, it's going to have zero problem sticking in green. So those are all really good numbers across the board. Let's get into the 7 now. 1.41 on your smash factor, which is above average. 169.2, 7 yards above average. Love to see that. We hit 170 on the total distance there with the 170.8. 119.5 on your ball mile per hour speed. 5,601, which again, that's above my average. So the golf ball is getting a lot of distance, it's spinning, and it wants to launch slightly low now at 16.5, which sometimes happens with the 7-iron. That could be partially me. I'm going to take the launch angle with a little bit of grain of salt because the previous launch I'd gotten with the dead spin golf ball was 15.7, so I might be closing the face a little too much. I might need to kind of open it back up. Overall, I love those numbers. Anytime you can get above average, above average, above average, and then also get to the spin and it be above average, that's what I like to see. It's not overspinning. It's not ridiculously getting way too much distance to where I got to recalculate everything. It's doing everything just really consistently well. So let's hope that keeps going. Let's get to the 5 hybrid now. 1.38 on your smash factor. Now this is where I ran into some issues, which the hybrid I always do. Next season I'm using a 5 iron, just so you know. But 189 on your distance, which is above average. 191.9, which is slightly above average. 128.1, which is slightly above average. And then 4,820, which is just slightly below average. And then it wanted to launch high at 16.1. So now that I'm putting a lot of juice behind it, I'm now swinging, 91 miles an hour with a hybrid club. It makes sense that it's kind of starting to launch a little higher because once you start to not over compress, but you start to get it and flirt with that zone, a lot of the time what you see is increased spin and really high launch, and that's kind of what I got here. So overall, the smash factor was not great. But as far as the distances, they're still above my average. They're still very consistent, and they're all still right in line. There's nothing wacky here. There's nothing like, oh, the distance is just incredibly stupid, and then the spin is incredibly low. Like, there's none of that. Everything's just right where I would need it to be. So we're still doing great. Hopefully the driver can keep it going. Everything's been awesome so far. 1.43 on your smash factor, which is just slightly below my average. 234 and 242.3, which are both well above my average, about 7 yards more than my average. Love to see that. 145.7, that is an excellent ball mile per hour speed. It's above my average. 2,534 is just slightly above my average, but that's actually kind of what I've been getting lately. 2,600's kind of been the last few golf balls, so it's right in line with what's good. And a 15.8 launch, it wanted to launch really high again, which for a two-piece golf ball does not bother me. They're supposed to do that. I mean, would it have been cool if it was a little lower? Absolutely, but if you start splitting hairs like that, it is what it is. I would say overall that's a really great performance. Again, smash factor's low, but the distance is great, and so is the spin. So I don't know. Sometimes I put that in there because I know you guys want it, but I always don't know 100% how smash factor works. All right, so the numbers are all awesome. Let's go ahead and dive into the durability, and let's see how that does. And guys, it's just like I told you, when you have DuPont Surlyn, I mean, look at it. This is a golf ball that's been hit almost 100 times. Can you find a scratch on it? I'm looking. Can I see a scratch? Can I even tell it was hit? Oh, I see a little tiny bit of paint chipped off on the D there. On seed, I see a little tiny bit there. And, oh, I see a little bit on the circle on this side. There's some paint there skipped off as well. So, look, this is a 10 out of 10. It has to be. Anytime you can play a golf ball for an entire round and a half, I mean 100 shots, and when you feel it, it still feels pristine, and the only thing you can find is a couple tiny little paint marks, it's a 10 out of 10. It's really, really good. I played the game. Sometimes if I have this, I'll play a game where I go up to my buddies or whatever, and I'll say, here's 3 golf balls. Which one did I hit? If it takes them more than 30 seconds to look at each of them and wonder, that's a great golf ball. And that's what this was as well. They had to really look at it, and again, they saw the paint. So that is what it is. Closing thoughts. Seed just continues to do everything right. This is why I like Seed. This is why I continue to grow more fonder of Seed golf balls, because one, there's a lot of companies like My Golf Spy and golf publications that are trusting them, and they're starting to understand. But really, my main thing is that all their golf balls just perform really well. They perform really consistent. They have amazing dispersion. They do exactly what you would want them to do. They take a lot of pressure off your mind. You don't have to think a lot when you hit Seed golf balls. You know what you're getting. You can put a golf ball down, you can hit it. All of them offer great forgiveness, great spin. I mean, when you read the back of a Seed box and it tells you it's going to do something, it does that. And I know that seems like, oh, well, yeah, of course. No, a lot of these golf ball companies will tell you one thing and it's the exact opposite. There's a ton of faux marketing in golf balls. Seed just continues to do exactly what I need them to do. Do they break records? No, I haven't broken any records with Seed golf balls, but have all of them been consistently above average and I've really had nothing to complain about? You bet. I mean, this is my, I believe, third golf ball tested from Seed, and so far all three of them are going to probably make it in the top 20, top 30 for sure, but top 20 probably. That's really good. It's really good. I have nothing to say but nice things about Seed. I think that this golf ball specifically is going to fall in if you want a two-piece golf ball from a direct-to-manufacturer, you want to support some small business. I know this is an England company, I believe, so I think a lot of you in England play it, and Europe and stuff like that. If that's the case, then, yeah, this is an amazing golf ball. And if you think you still need a two-piece because you like that forgiveness, you like, just keep it in play, fairway, green, two-putt, this is the golf ball for you. It's really, really good. It comes at a great price point. It has amazing design options. You can get a variety of colors. You can get it with the alignment tool. You can even get it down to $15 a dozen if you want. And it's just really consistent, and it's really a great performing golf ball. So I don't have anything really bad to say about it, and that's what I love most about two-piece golf balls. So awesome job, Seed. I really am glad to see it. I have another Seed ball I'm getting ready to test as well, so maybe we can go 4 for 4. We little Wendy's action, 4 for 4. That would be awesome. I'll see you guys soon. As always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Until next time.